All right. The enough frequency. Oh my goodness, what a topic and what a dilemma. I've been thinking for many years actually. If I were to do a TED Talk, it would be, and don't go off and run and take this idea now, but my TED Talk idea is the disease of not enoughness, because I really do see it as a dis-ease and probably the most prevalent form of imbalance in almost every human that I've ever met, myself included. I've been working, for those of you who don't know me, I've been working as a yoga teacher trainer. I've been working as a clinical Ayurvedic specialist, an energy healer for many years. So I've had the opportunity to work with so many people on a really deep, intimate level. And for that, I'm so honored. I absolutely love really, getting to know like what's really going on with people, because that's where the juice is and that's where the transformation is. And what I discovered, oh goodness, it's almost painful, is that what are there, like almost 8 billion people on the planet? That 8 billion of us are walking around thinking, I'm not enough on some level. And I know you're all conscious, incredible humans, adults. And on one level, you're like, oh, I believe I'm enough. I believe I'm worthy and deserving. And yet, that sneaky subconscious, which science is now showing runs the show for like 95% of our life, that's what's pushing things forward. That's what's affecting the behavior. So when you find yourself procrastinating, self-sabotaging, in old, outdated dynamics and behaviors where you're like, why did I just say that thing again? Or why did I just do that thing again? It's simply because you've gone offline, meaning disconnected from the presence of all that is and letting your conditioning be your reality. So we're going to dive into that today. We're going to be here about an hour, and I'm very excited to see what comes forth. So I'm just popping over the comments here, seeing how you're all doing. Feel free to type in. Wanda, feeling rushed, but happy to be here live. Claire, I have to head off around 7. No worries. Kim, excited to be here. Good morning, Heidi. Uh, yes, if we are not enough, we are not always in a position to choose. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If we're coming from any degree of separation, we're not going to be operating from the highest and best psychological, mental, emotional frequency. So, first of all, I'm going to ask you a question, and this is where you can write down in your journal. We're going to start off looking at the frequency of not enoughness. Where has that shown up, or where does that show up in your life? So column 1, you write down the category. So maybe the category is relationships. And then the specific is, I've tolerated uh, infidelity, or I tolerated whatever it might be that was not okay with you. Maybe the second uh, topic, health, and then where it shows up as that not enoughness might be, oh, well, I've had an autoimmune condition for so long, or I don't invest in my self-care. It always feels like a luxury to, get good support or vitamins or massage, whatever you need. So column 1 is the area, relationship, health, money, and then the more specific on the right-hand side of how does that actually show up in your life? And I'll give you 5 minutes here to dive into that. And notice what comes up for you as memories are coming. Notice what goes on in your body, what's happening physically as you're thinking, remembering, writing these things. So where does the seed of not enough show up in your life? Might be something so subtle, like you're at a restaurant and they bring the wrong order and you just smile and say, "That's fine." Anyone ever done that? Or sometimes it looks like we think we're worthy, but we're really compensating, overspending, giving ourselves all the things we think, oh, well, I'm just living abundantly. I'm just spending all this money. But actually, we're trying to fill a hole by buying that fifth pair of shoes. Or we overeat. We betray ourselves in some way. Just notice how it shows up. And then take one more minute, just wrap up what your thoughts are. You can always come back to this. Starting to extract it is helpful. We're not going to stay in that, but to see the patterns, the themes, the ways in which you do deceive yourself or betray yourself, uh, inevitably because there is an idea of separation, an idea of separation. So type in the chat some of the ways, just give me one of the ways that you notice not enoughness shows up for you. How do you experience that in your actual day-to-day life? Where do you hold yourself back? Where do you shrink or diminish? And then you can also look at your list and see what is the effect of that, right? That behavior, that thing, what else am I missing out on or giving up because of that? Tolerate lack of communication with intimate relationships. Yes, I hear you. I can totally relate. I've had so many past relationships where I didn't speak up. I didn't speak up because I was afraid of rocking the boat. I was afraid of ultimately the loss of connection, even though sometimes those relationships were connections that weren't even good or healthy for me. yeah, the effect is losing myself. Aha, exactly. In small groups, maybe only groups of women feeling not enough. Interesting. Well, so glad you're here in this small group of women. You get to practice that. Working extra hard. Yeah, that proving energy, right? Proving through, like if we just do more, maybe we're not even thinking that we're proving to anyone out there, but to our own sense of, I have to earn it. I have to earn my right to abundance or to feel successful or to earn my place in this world, in this community, in this family, however it shows up. That's such a big one, the working extra hard. Over accommodate. Yeah, right. Little bit of that pleaser energy in there, a dash of codependency. Yeah, over accommodating at the effect, the negative effect of ourself. In work, giving more of myself than I get back. It's a big one, right? That we will go outside of our truth, essentially, is what I'm hearing the thread through all of these. We go outside of what we know is correct for us, meaning in our authentic integrity, and we do something else. The category of money and often thinking there is not enough coming from scarcity. Yes, yes, that's such a big one. That's everything we're diving into instead of inside of the Wise, Wild, and Wealthy program. We're looking at how that not enoughness, and whether it is time, energy, and money, those are often three big umbrella categories, or people feel lack. And anytime we're feeling lack, that's just the signal to be like, oh my God, I'm in separation. I'm not perceiving life the way that creator, divine, spirit, source, God, nature is intending or perceiving life. And that's where we're clued into, oh, my conditioning is determining my perception, my behaviors, my thoughts, all of it. And it's a mishmash and it never feels good. When our conditioning is running the show, it doesn't feel good because it's not true. And it's wonderful that it doesn't feel good, because if it did, we would just keep going blah, 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 blah down that road. But the not feeling good, the knot in the stomach, the contraction in the throat, that low grade anxiety, it's the signal of saying, hey, pay attention here. You're out of sync with your higher self, meaning the one who is not operating and living out of conditioning and programming, which is other people's stories of lack, scarcity, and belief. And then we put them on, right? Like a jacket, like a cloak. And then we pass that down, pass that down, pass that down. I've stayed in relationships and situations because if I could just do more or be more, the relationship or situation would become better. Yes, right? If I was just better somehow, if I was more loving, if I was more beautiful, more intelligent, more together, more something, and using our own sense of self, distorted sense of self against ourselves. And then if we're carrying that identity, no doubt we're going to attract people, situations, experiences to match that inner identity, because the universe has to say yes to us. It doesn't have to, that's the way it sets up. It will match, it will meet the frequency that we be. So it will meet us in our identity. And this is why the identity piece, and you think, well, what's identity? Is that just my personality? No. The identity is your whole sense of self, not just from here, not an intellectual, like, well, I'm this old and I have this many cats and I live on this street at this address and this is what I do in the world for work. No, no way. Identity is not just our mindset and our thoughts, the way that we think and how the nervous system is connected and how our emotions are connected to that, but our behaviors we pull on our past memories, and we also pull on our future memories, meaning our typically futurizing into the negative, right? Oh God, what about all of these horrible things that could happen? What if it's like this? What if it's like that? What if, oh my gosh, what if this happens and then that person does this and then I'm like this? And so much of our energy is actually consumed by things that will never happen. And we incessantly, deliriously, addictively follows those tracks of identification, and it creates so much suffering. So instead of suffering once, if something really unsavory does happen, we suffer continually through where we place our projections. Here's the amazing thing is that we are meaning-making machines. Our greatest asset and our greatest force of destruction is our creative imagination, our potentiality. So we typically, when we're operating out of our conditioning and our programming, our creativity, our imagination, we use against ourselves. And we imagine all sorts of things about ourselves that we're not good enough. Oh, yeah, another one, body image. Again, I don't know a woman, maybe even a human, that doesn't have something about their body that they're like, or many things, or all of it, that there's this relationship dynamic of like, there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with my boobs. There's something wrong with my legs. There's something wrong with my waist. There's something wrong with the, right? Like, what is happening? The programming is incessant and it's thieving away our happiness, our joy, our life force, our financial capacity to expand and receive insane amounts of wealth, because we're using that imagination force, our creative potential, against ourselves. Oh, well, that's not possible. Oh, that's nice for other people. That's nice for them. Oh, well, I don't come from money. Or, well, they're really lucky. Oh, they got that opportunity. And when we keep ourselves in any level of that victimization story, that's really what we're doing. When we're saying to ourselves, even unconsciously, that there's something wrong with me, with my body, with where I'm at in life, with my relationship status, with whatever it might be, we're so confused, in fact. We're so confused. When we're in lack and scarcity, we're feeding into the belief that we're not connected. We're just flailing around here on this planet, doing our best to try and figure it out, try to get by, try to survive. And we didn't come here just to survive. That's the survival piece is inevitable. And actually, the thriving piece is inevitable, but not possible unless you claim it, unless you say yes to it, unless you demonstrate that you're willing to see your body and appreciate it, maybe even love it, that you're willing to look at your bank account, whatever state it's in, and rejoice and be like, oh my gosh, thank you. To look at relationships, to look at your own mind, because that's the number one relationship. Your primary relationship is with you. And if your primary relationship, if you're trying to find that somewhere else, we start to rely or depend a lot on someone or something outside of ourselves. So you must be willing to change what you've come to believe is true. Any thought or belief system that is creating suffering for you, you get to decide, does this have any room in my future? Do I want to carry this baggage? It's like having a huge, heavy suitcase full of old clothes that don't even fit you anymore, that aren't even something you'd wear because you're like, well, that went out of style in 1982 and I'm not into it anymore. And oh my God, there's some rocks in that suitcase too, and just some random trinkets and stuff that aren't even useful. But here, let me just carry this around. I'm going to drag it around the house all day. When I go out to the grocery store, I'm going to drag it around. When I go out on a date, I'm going to drag it around. When I go to pick up my kids from school, I'm going to drag it around. It just gets exhausting. And if you open up that suitcase, it's like, oh, there's nothing I actually value in here. And there's nothing in here that I need for my journey forward. And you know it. So we must be willing to change what we believe is true about us, about others, about the world. And the beauty of that is that's everything. That's everything. That's how you change your health, your wealth, your happiness. Where you place your consciousness, or I should say, the level of consciousness from which you place your attention will determine how you experience things. It's not about trying to figure out how to make everything outside of you the way you want it and like it. I mean, do that too. For sure, you can do that too. But if you do that from a place of manipulation, opposed to for the fun of, oh my goodness, this would be so fun because instead of, oh my God, I need that person to act the way that I want them to act, otherwise I'm not okay. I need this situation to turn out the way I want it to, otherwise I'm not okay. That's our codependency. Instead of I'm okay. I love myself so deeply, so wholly, so fully that people will say and do what they say and do. The economy will go up and down as it goes up and down. That's not a new story. Politics will be shenanigan after shenanigan. Like, and then we tell ourselves, unprecedented times. Oh my God, fear, hunker down, double down, fear, fear, fear. And this is the time that life is like, you came here for this. Don't you dare project your power outside of yourself. Stop it. And it's no small thing because your family members, your friends at the coffee shop, your neighbors down the street, everyone wants to chime in the not enough story, right? You meet someone, hey, how are you doing? Oh, so busy. Oh, so busy. Like it's some kind of honor or badge to carry around. Oh, I'm so busy. Wow. Like we created that. If you're so busy, that's because of a bunch of choices that you've made. Wherever you're at in your life right now, in this moment, number one, it's not who you are. And number two, it's because of a series of choices. Micro choices, macro choices, that's how you are here right now. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that's where you're going. But you get to look at these areas of your life of not enoughness and see, yeah, what is the cost of this? How much energy is it taking? What am I not doing? Where am I holding myself back? What is the vision that's in my heart for myself, for my life that I'm tiptoeing around? That I'm tiptoeing around, that I'm not willing to step in fully. Oh gosh, because if I step in fully, what if I go for it and disappoint myself or others? What if I humiliate myself? Because again, oh, there's that thing that I really wanted or thought I could do. And what if it doesn't go the way that I thought it would or should? And so we never get in the game. We never step in, or we like put a toe in and then be like, ah, it didn't work. See, didn't work. Then maybe we put another toe in and there we go. But rarely do incredibly well-intentioned, heart-centered humans step fully in until this seed of not enoughness is alchemized. So step number one in everything, awareness. Yes, awareness. If we're not aware, we're just going through the motions and like thinking, well, that's just reality. That's who I am. That's how life is. That's how other people are. So awareness, absolutely. That's why we're having these conversations. That's why we're journaling and writing out these places inside of you that still are dictating more of your life than is necessary. And then once we're aware, then we have choice. And that's where it starts to get very confronting. Because we might intellectually say, of course, I don't want to carry this around anymore. Of course, I don't want to feel like I'm not enough and therefore shrink or not ask for that raise or not set my client prices the way that I really want to set them. Or we acquiesce or just please people. Oh yeah, I'll go do that thing, even though inside we're like, oh my God, that's the last thing I want to do. And we pull ourselves up off the couch and go out the door to be the good person, the good friend, the good mom, the good partner, or whatever it is, instead of being truthful with ourselves. And if we do that long enough, it erodes our confidence, it erodes our self-worth. And then in that erosion, we're even more disconnected from who we truly are. And it's even harder then to see the possibility to see what making choices from our wholeness looks and feels like. Because it looks and feels so different when we're choosing from connection, from the understanding that I am that I am. You know, for the yogis here, that ancient mantra, so hum, I am that I am. What are they talking about? What were those crazy yogis talking about all those thousands of years? What is the that? What is the energy that's growing the trees, the plants, the flowers, your garden? What is the energy that is keeping this existence going? What is the energy that is enlivening you, animating you in this very moment? It's something that we don't pay much attention to because we're just kind of out looking through our eyes, like moving forward, checking off to-do lists. And we forget that, oh my goodness, there's a presence that is never an absence, that is requiring nothing from us, that is unconditionally loving and supporting. And all it wants is you to say yes to the truth of you, to who you actually came here to be. Not your persona, not who you've been playing into the past, but the actual power of you, the essence of you. And it's very painful when we're not living from that. Very painful. And I believe this is why we have so much anxiety, depression, mental illness on our planet right now. Because we're so disconnected from the energy of creation, from nature. We are nature. So what if your thoughts aren't true? And what if you can feel scared and do it anyway? Feeling fear, whatever that is, right? What is fear? Give me a cup of fear. But we can feel scared or anxious and still do the thing. I do this like constantly, rock climbing. Like every time I go out on the rock, it's not comfortable, I'll tell you. And yesterday my partner's like, we're going to do this new thing, this different thing, a whole different system that I've never done before. Top rope soloing, where you essentially ascend the rope, climb up the rope without anyone belaying you, without any help. And I was a bit like, this is crazy. And then I started it up. And how delightful, how fun. And if I let my fear get in the way, I probably wouldn't experience half of my life. Like, so the fear of failure, the fear of disappointing ourselves or others, the fear of success, the fear, the fear, the fear, the fear. When we stop abandoning ourselves, the fear takes a back seat. The fear is only loud and prevalent because you've abandoned yourself. But when you listen to your desires, when you take action on what is true for you, there's not as much room for the fear to come in. It's just like, oh yeah, there's that thing. There's that like butterflies in my stomach, or there's that, oh yeah, that voice that pops up saying, are you sure you should do this? Seems irresponsible. But you're so tuned in to the higher self who's like, yes, we've been waiting our whole life for this. Come on, let's go. And the higher self gets to move you forward. And that's when life starts to be so much fun. It's not a game of how do I stay safe? How do I stay safe in my relationships, with my finances, with the clothes I wear, with what it's how can I live my life fully expressed, fully embodied as who I am, not as who other people are or who other people want you to be or you think they want you to be. And to tune into that requires slowing down. It requires stillness. It requires a deep reverence for yourself, for life, and for listening. Because programming is so loud, meaning it just happens until it doesn't, until we break the pattern. And you can break that pattern through trying different things. Do something different than you normally do. Eat something different, wear something different, say something different, or don't say anything at all, depending what your normal is. These are Ayurvedic principles. In Ayurvedic medicine, we say that like increases like and opposites reduce. That's the pattern disrupt. You must do something against your conditioning to disrupt the pattern of the conditioning. So if you walk around with that low grade or maybe really loud scarcity, every time you have to go and pay a bill or go to the store for groceries or a car payment comes through, whatever it is, that you are hijacked, right? That the nervous system's hijacked, that the mind is hijacked, that maybe your day is hijacked, something unexpected, a bill comes in, or you need a repair for the roof, or something you weren't thinking you were going to have to put money into. And then you contract and get smaller and smaller because there's a belief that it's going to run out, that it's a finite resource. And that's not the way money works. Money, like our energy, it's actually infinite. So the differentiating factor from living in scarcity and contraction or overflow is our relationship to it. the more we are in that neediness, the grasping, the more we push it away, and then it perpetuates that cycle. And often it's tricky, right? Because when we're in that moment or that time in our life where I'm like, oh my God, I need it. And so we go, and then money gets further and further away. Opportunities get further and further away. The flow where all those things are available, we've disconnected from. And then our ego kicks in, and that's where we go into that, like trying really hard, proving, do more, hustle, harder, faster, stronger. Exhausting. So let's move into an energetic frequency shift, shall we? Are there any questions? If you have a question, you can type in the chat before we move ahead. I'm curious what's coming up for you in this conversation. What's landing? What's making sense or maybe not making sense? Has anything been like, aha? The fear of our power. Exactly. The fear of our power. It is. We're so afraid to step outside of the identity we've created because we put a lot of time and energy our whole life right into this, who we believe ourselves to be. And I'm not saying like the parts that are really supportive, keep those. But the parts that aren't, we need to look deeply at and see, what are they protecting? What are you protecting that is so tender under there? And that's where our compassion comes in. There's a part of us that's so tender. And so we protect that part. And we protect that part often through these behaviors, these thoughts of not enough. Because maybe we did, as a youngster, got on the stage and sang the song, and someone said that wasn't enough, or we came home with a school report and our parents focused on the one B, not all the A's, or that we just didn't feel like in our friend group that we fit in. We weren't cool, didn't wear the right thing, we were awkward, whatever it might be. These moments, right? They really influence the identity as we build it up throughout our life. Okay. Let's go into a practice. So for those of you who have worked with me before, you know that in all of these subconscious reprograms, you always have choice. So if you would like to receive the upgrade of the download, then you get to say yes in your heart. And if not, no problem. And I would say go beyond the words into the frequency. So if the languaging that comes through me is awkward for you, or is like, see if you can just tap into the feeling state of it. Yes? Okay. So make yourself comfortable. You can sit up, you can lie down, wherever you can be present. Wherever you can be present. Closing the eyes. And moving into experiencing a frequency of wholeness. So through this practice, returning to unity, oneness. This is what yoga and many other traditions have been teaching for thousands of years. It's the same old thing. And the human mind is the same old mind. So as we begin, feel into your heart and notice your heart space today, whether it feels open or closed, heavy or light. No judgments, simply awareness, noticing, observation. And then begin to deepen your breath, feeling the lungs expand on the inhalation. And then track the breath as it leaves the body. Notice what happens to the lungs, the shoulders, the belly as you breathe out. And following this miracle as this invisible force enters the body and leaves the body. We're being breathed. We don't have to try. This gift of life supporting us every single moment. Every single moment. And allow your physical body to relax a little bit more. So the breath is just moving in and out. The body relaxed around the breath like a jellyfish in water, that beautiful floating, expanding, contracting. Nice and easy. Observe the places in the body that feel like they could use a little bit more care or attention or love. And let your breath go there for a moment, whether it's into your back or your shoulders or your heart. Just guide this loving presence into any part of the body that is feeling stuck or dormant or offline. Hmm. And now from your heart, moving your attention all the way down into the center of the earth, like you've got a golden thread from your heart down through the body, down through the pelvic floor, right into the core of the earth. And at the middle of the earth, imagine an entire rock of black tourmaline, this powerful crystal that looks just like coal, black, deep, protective, and receptive. And let any of your stress, your strain, your scarcity, fear, lack, anything that you're carrying that feels too heavy, confusion, questioning, allow it to pour down into the center of the earth, into this black tourmaline, and letting this crystal absorb and renew this energy that you no longer wish to carry. Just give it over. Give it up, layer by layer. Know that you don't have to carry this on your own, and you don't have to carry it at all, in fact. Keep surrendering over to nature, the earth, to life, to source. Remembering that it's not you on a battleground. That's not what this life is. Not a battleground against your body, in your relationships, with your finances. It's an opportunity, an adventure, an experience. And we've lost the frequency of the next adventure. We've lost the excitement. We go into fear. We go into terror. We go into withholding. We go into self-betrayal. Letting all of that be released. And as you guide your awareness from the center of the earth back up that golden thread, all the way up, up, up through the many layers of the earth, up through the pelvic floor, up through the sacral plexus, up through the solar plexus, back into your heart. This energy continues to flow from the heart up through the throat, through the midbrain, to the crown, and creating a beautiful ball of light above your physical head. Just imagine a ball of energy above your head, and place your consciousness in this ball of light, and let the ball of light float up above the room that you're in. Let this ball of light float up and up and up, outside of the atmosphere, up into the cosmic darkness. So as your consciousness gets greater perspective, it floats higher and higher. It's not attached to your past, your identity. It is simply wanting you to be you, without distortion, without diminishment. So see this ball of light floating up past the stars, past the planets in our solar system, becoming lighter and freer, free from preconceived concepts and notions about yourself and your reality, and opening to the limitless, opening to full potentiality. Continue to float up, and you move through a layer of golden light. And then more darkness. And then another layer of golden light energy, rejuvenating, replenishing, recalibrating you to ease and grace. And more darkness until you come to a layer of energy that is rainbow colored and a jelly-like substance. Keep floating up through those layers of color. And beyond that, you move through a layer of pink, misty energy. And beyond that, you're united with pearlescent white light, tingly white light. This is the energy of Creator. This is the energy of Source. Allow yourself to be enveloped by this tingly white light. Your consciousness cleansed, purified from illusions and delusions of lack and separation, uplifted and exalted, coming back online to the truth of you, to your magnificence and to your power. So take a deep breath in and a slow, steady breath out. And if you would like these following downloads, just a reminder again, you get to say yes or no to any of these healing transmissions. So can we lift and clear the frequency and all associated thought patterns, beliefs, and behaviors that are rooted in lack and separation? Can we send it back to the light of Creator to be transmuted? If you would like that, just say yes. And can we lift and clear the energy of lack and separation and not enoughness that has been passed down generationally, culturally, through so many forms of societal conditioning, can we lift and clear the incessant belief system of the collective based in not enough, and send it back to the light of Creator? Would you like that? And can we remind you and teach you how it feels to live from enough, and that you know how to feel enough in your day-to-day life, that you know how to respond and make decisions from a state of overflow, of wholeness, and of oneness consciousness? Would you like that? And can we send unconditional loving to every cell of your body, to every organ, every tissue, every bone, that your entire body is bathed in pure, unconditional loving consciousness? And can we lift and clear any stagnant energy in the flow of your body related to any of the energy centers, the root, sacral plexus, solar plexus, the heart, throat, third eye, crown? Can we lift and clear any sense of separation that you have with your body, and remind you how to speak lovingly and how to honor this body temple? Would you like that? And can we show you that you always have been enough? There has never been a moment in your life, through anything you have done or not done, that could separate you from Creator and creation. And can we remind you that you are not your past? And can we give you Creator's highest understanding, perspective, and truth about who you are and who you came here to be? Would you like that? Can we teach you that it's easy to change what was untrue about you, your beliefs based in scarcity, in lack, in separation? And can we remind you that it is in your power to speak to yourself, about yourself, in a loving way, and that you no longer are calibrated to negativity, to self-deprecation, or to lack? Would you like that? And would you like the download? I am enough. I love and appreciate myself. I love and appreciate who I am. I love my past. I love my present. I am creating a future based in wholeness, based in possibility, based in potential. I know that the universe is supporting me in all ways, always. I'm excited by what is to come. I get to create my life. I get to be the star of my show. I get to be on an adventure. I love the adventure of my life. I love the players in my life. I love the growth. I love the people that become teachers in my life, being mirrors to me for where I still hold myself back. And I'm grateful to see this so I can choose again. I get to choose possibility. I get to choose ease. I am choosing possibility. I am choosing ease. I am choosing self-love above all else. I no longer abandon and betray myself. I am a stand for me. I know I am loved and supported by the very energy that brought me here and sustains existence. It is easy for me to feel existence loving me. It is easy for me to feel the presence that is never an absence. I allow this presence into my heart. This presence is me. I am that I am. I am so grateful for this life. I am so grateful for the overflow. My joy is the gift to the world. I am the gift. Who I be is a gift. And the more honest I am with myself and with life, the more my energy blesses others. Without me having to do anything, my presence is a blessing because I am honest with myself, because I am respectful of myself, because I know I am worthy. I know I belong. I belong here and the universe is uplifting me. I know that all I have to do is say yes, yes to my heart's desire, yes to the vision in my heart. It is easy for me to take the next step. And when I feel scared, I take the step anyway, when it is correct for me, when it is true for me. I no longer delay. I no longer put my life or my happiness or my health or my financial wealth on the back burner. I no longer put my dreams somewhere off in the future. I claim my vision, I claim my dreams, I claim myself today, here, now, and always. I am so grateful for what is to come. I am so grateful for this life that is more magnificent, that is getting better each and every day. Each and every day, my health improves, my wealth expands, my joy bursts forth. Every day, I am conscious of consciousness. I love love. I enjoy joy. And every day I laugh. Every day I let myself know how valuable I am, how worthy I am, how loved and loving I am. This is my peace. This is my safety. My safety is in shedding the non-self. My safety is in unity, in remembering that I am never alone. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. So take a deep breath in. And can we amplify and activate all of these downloads that are a yes for you to an infinite degree so that they become, so that they are your new reality with ease, with grace, instantly here and now. So be it and so it is. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Just feeling your body, feeling your presence here. And when you feel ready, you can go on and open the eyes, come back into the day. So be sure to drink a lot of water, these downloads, so that our physical body can catch up. Sometimes it's very subtle, the shifts, and sometimes these shifts are very, very deep and profound. Feel free to type in the chat how you're feeling, how that experience was for you. And I see we're at the top of the hour. Before we jump off, I want to share with you two things. One is I got another download for a masterclass last night. It's called Own Your Power. This is going to be for you. If you sign up for this in the next hour, $22. I'll put the link in the chat. $22 only. It's going to be 75 minutes happening next June the 6th. You'll get the replay. The price is going up after that. This is for you. The other thing I want to let you know coming up are intakes, enrollments into my 3 and 6 month mentorship programs. So if you're interested in working together, send me an email. I'll put my email here. And we can discuss if either of these programs are a good fit for you at this time. Okay, I'm just popping over the comments here. Feeling stronger, love owning power. That was beautiful, peaceful, peaceful. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm so glad. And I can't wait to share the Own Your Power workshop. We're going to go deeper into the reprogramming and recalibrating of power. Not power over, but how to really operate from this truth of you. It's essential for health and for happiness and for joy. And as women, as humans, we've been so disconnected for so many reasons from our power. And so now is the time to bring and claim that and own it and then take action on that out in the world. And this is how I believe we can really change the world, not by diminishing, not by sitting back in the shadows, but really by owning that. So thank you so much. I've loved being here with you. I look forward to seeing you inside of Own Your Power. The link there's in the chat for you. You can register now, and I'll send you the details for seeing you live. Much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Ciao.